Hello and welcome to On the Hook Crochet, where we find out what's on the hook today. Well, I have a little preface that I want to make to this particular video. Last Thursday I opened my KnitCrate, or I explained what was in my KnitCrate for May, and I was really whiny, and I realized that I was complaining about things that I could do something about. I wasn't a victim. I just acted like one, and I'm sorry for that. I apologize. And I know that a lot of my viewers and subscribers wrote to me, and the beautiful comments that they put down below my video. And I wanted to say that probably most people thought that I might be right, which is fine. And there were some people who really took me to task, and I deserved that. I shouldn't have gone on with the rant about KnitCrate. When I signed up for it, it's my own decision to receive KnitCrate every month. And if it's not pleasing to me, then I should just stop and not whine about it. And I am totally there. I tried to raise my children that way, and here I was being a stink pot on my video. So I almost took the video down. After the first few comments, I realized that I shouldn't have gone on there and said all the negative things about the box. I should have said all the positive things. So I decided that I would, as my mother told me to do, make some lemonade out of those lemons. I caked the yarn, and it's actually prettier caked up than it is on the hank. I thought it looked really nice. It is pink and yellow mostly. There's a little bit of orange in there, but truly it's not garish looking, and I really didn't like it when I first saw it. I guess because it was on a hank and the colors were kind of in your face. So I caked it, and I was much more pleased with it. And it's very, very soft too. I really like it. It's got cashmere in it. It's a beautiful yarn. But it's very, very small. It's a sock yarn, and I'm not used to working with that. So to make that lemonade, I decided I would make a scarf out of the Artfully Simple angled scarf pattern from Moogly Blog. But you know, it's so different from this pattern that it's that pattern, and that's what I use for the outline. And I'm just going to disclose that. I used a J hook. It calls for an H, so I used a J hook, which is my favorite. And I started with 32 chains instead of what it calls for here, which is in the hundreds. 284. And actually the scarf I made for Becky, my friend, out of her woolen nylon, I did it the long way, and I did chain up 250 chains or something like that, and I made it back and forth in long rows. This one I decided that I wanted to make it as long as I wanted. I didn't want to make that decision at the very beginning, so I only chained 32, and I worked this way on the scarf vertically. Lengthwise I did not. I worked this way, and look how pretty it turned out. I'm just really excited about it. I'm eating crow today. But anyway, I made a summer scarf out of it, and I put fringe at the bottom, a little bit less fringe than I used on my other scarf that I use this pattern for. And I wanted it to be light, so I just put 5 little pieces of fringe on here, 5 sections of fringe. And I'm wearing it today with an orange knit top, which matches the orange in the scarf. Now, I like it with the orange. That's what I intended to wear it with. And it's only hot when you pull it up around your neck. If you wear it down below, like this, which is how I had it to begin with, and I've been pulling on it, but if you just drape it gently around your neck, it is actually quite beautiful, and it's not hot. I've been wearing it around for a couple of hours now, and I have not gotten hot in it. So the wool is not a deal breaker, but I just thought it was beautiful. Once I got it made up, I was very pleased with it. Now, another thing I did with this scarf, it is 70 inches long. That's how long I made it, and I still had this much yarn left over, probably enough for another scarf, but I really doubt I'll be using it, but I hate to just let it sit. Anyway, that's how much I had left, probably over half of the hank. And I made the scarf 70 inches long and 4.5 inches wide. That's 32 chains across there. They're kind of small, but they're done with a J-hook and they're doable. And there's a lot of chaining. There's not a whole lot of stitching, you know, so it goes very, very quickly. And then at the bottom, if you can see that, I increased right about 6 or 8 inches from where my index fingers are. I increased to make the bottom a little bit bigger. I didn't put it at an angle like I did Becky's scarf, but I did use a little bit of an increase at the bottom so that it would be have a little bit of interest besides the fringe. And I did that on both sides. This one is also increased at the bottom, and maybe you can see that. This is the 5.5 up here, and then the increase is at the bottom, and it's probably 6.5 or 7. It's not a huge increase, but it's enough to give me plenty of room for the fringe and have some space in between. And that's kind of where I was going with that, to lighten it up a little bit for summer. So because these colors are extremely summer, there's nothing fall about them, nothing winter about them, I made it for strictly summer wearing. Now, I wanted to show you, because I whined so much on Thursday about the color of this yarn, I wanted to show you some tops that it would look nice with. And it goes with a lot of things. Of course, it goes with the orange shirt. But it also goes with yellow. It's very beautiful with yellow behind it. I'm just going to stand up and put these behind it and let it drape across. This is what it looks like with yellow. And it is a beautiful look. Look at that. It's really pretty. And with a pair of jeans or something like that on a hot day, you could get away with this. And that would give you a little pop of color. All right, it looks good on yellow. And then I dug this out of my closet, and it's inside out, and I apologize for that. But actually, it's a coral color, and this looks pretty good with it. Actually, it's kind of a nice look with the coral. Now, the orange picks up the coral just a little bit, so it's a stretch, but not that much of a stretch. I think you could get away with it. I really like that because it's a contrasting color. All right, third of all, you could wear it over a turquoise tank. Now let me show you how this looks. I know this sounds crazy, but look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It really looks nice over turquoise as well. So you could wear this with a tank or a short sleeve shirt, or even a long sleeve shirt for a cool summer night. That's just really pretty. I just think that looks great with the turquoise because those are all summer colors. And then last but not least is the white tank. But what I did was I dug out a tank that is not white. It is an off-white. And I think that looks better than a strictly white tank, but you could certainly wear it with white. I just thought it looked really nice with the off-white. It gives it a little pop of color, and of course, and last but not least, it would look awesome with black. And I don't have my black tank in here. I've got it in the wash, so I don't have it with me, but it would look really nice over black. Or over that black dress that you could wear out to dinner, maybe a sleeveless dress with this around your neck. It's so gorgeous. And I apologize again for my rant on Thursday. I should not have gone overboard with my criticism of KnitCrate, because what I did was I made something out of it, and I never thought that I would, but I decided to just try to reverse that negative feeling that I gave y'all on Thursday. So there it is, and I hope y'all take your hanks of KnitCrate yarn and do something with them. This is an easy 2-day project, 1-day project really, if you just sat down and did it. It's not hard to do, and because it's sock yarn, it's very, very thin, it makes up quickly with this chain pattern. And honestly, what I did with this artfully simple angled scarf, I just did the basic 1 row repeat, and then I ad-libbed a little bit at the end to make the ends wider. I added on, I think it was a double crochet at the end, a couple of extra ones, and then when you work down it just kind of expands. just like it does when you make the mistake of adding a stitch at the end. Your piece sometimes will go like that, and you go, what happened there? Well, it's because you've added a stitch or two to the end of it, and eventually it gives it a V look. So, but that's what I was going for with this. So you might try that. And I also encourage my viewers to ad lib and to take a pattern and do whatever you feel like doing with it. I did not want to make a long scarf and be socked into however many chains I did on the first row. I wanted to crochet up till I had it long enough, and then I quit crocheting. That's the way I like to make these small summer scarves, because sometimes you don't want a big heavy scarf in the summertime. You just want it to be very thin, very light, and done with a very light yarn. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. So I welcome you to join me next time when we find out what's on the hook.